Hello, my dears. How are you? It's Wednesday. We've made it to Wednesday. And so that gives us to know that the week is halfway over. And that is often good news that the weekend is approaching. And so this is Resilient Lives checking on you. Just wanted to say, hey, send you a little bit of energy. Can only send you a little because that's that's all I have, right? But together we toss the energy ball back and forth, and certainly when I think of you and all the joys that I get from talking to you, I started feeling energy and being energized. So I hope and trust that everything is doing well with you. Of course, I'm still in a celebratory state of mind, but that's a good thing because we want to celebrate. We want to keep dancing. We want to keep focusing on the larger picture because there's so much going on in the world, and we can't take all of the things that are going on in the world lightly. So right now we're having to look at our behaviors and our actions as Thanksgiving approaches and the COVID numbers rise. I mean, we're going to have to do again to celebrate a holiday in a novel way. I had hoped that it would be different, but the suggestion is just to celebrate it with those who you are normally with. So whatever your decisions are, just remember to be safe. Be very safe and observe the protocols. I spoke a little bit about before trusting the process. I first heard that, I think I mentioned to you, from my professor when I was getting my degree, and he said, trust the process. And I thought, okay. And we are constantly in the process of doing something. Everything is a process. Everything is a journey. Everything involves steps. And I suppose when he was telling me to trust the process, it was his way of having me not to get alarmed, but to take my time and listen and think, and I'm supposing. But today I was wanted to look at following the process. And the reason that thought came to mind is because when I see teams and athletes and sports teams, successful teams, they seem to have a plan. They seem to be able not to focus on who has the lead. They don't get rattled, even if they are losing. They just keep on with their game plan. And this is interesting because I am a sports nut, and there are teams that you can follow, and you somehow know, you feel confident that towards the end they'll find a way to pull the win out. And why is that so? Well, they seem to have conditioned themselves with focusing on the little things, and they practice the little things. And there's an order to things so that their actions, their minds are not susceptible to getting swayed by the distractions. And I mean, sometimes teams can have huge leads, and yet the opponent, is really winning, and yet the team they're not frazzled. Years ago, there was a team, I can't remember the coach, but his team was so far behind, and he had the nerve to say, well, we have them just where we want them. And it was hilarious, because how could they be just where you want them when you are so far behind? But my point is, we have so much going on right now. We do. We have the results of the presidential elections and all the noise that's going on, whether it's, well, he will concede or what. We have people getting sick and the numbers going up, and but we have gotten in the habit of doing the little things. The little things are those behaviors that we put in our toolbox. We kind of have learned how to not pay attention to the noise in the world when people are freaking out or having their temper tantrums, or when things are going crazy. We have learned through meditation, solitude, or through whatever the ways that works for us. We've learned how to tune out the distractions so that we can stay focused on thriving. We've learned how to focus on the little things. Some might say the micro resilient tools, the little things. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention, because the successful teams and players are those who practice and work on the little things. They work on the order of things. They work on just doing things in a certain way and keeping their calm. And so I would suggest, as we are getting ready to be in this tightened, I want to say quarantine, with all of the limitations being imposed on us, I would suggest that we remember to follow the process that we have in place, and realize that we're going to win. We're going to win because we're going to keep on with our order, doing our protocols, keep in touch with our vital friends, work on our state of calmness. But it's just intriguing when you look at the winning teams. They're able to hang in there and ignore the banter. Sometimes there are people who love conflict and love to stir you up and get on your last nerves. And we have learned how to ignore the bullies, ignore the stuff that happens in our life, and maintain our calm, maintain that aura of peace. And so I'm just suggesting that we hold on tight, because eventually this process will get us to the point where we want to be. So let's follow the process. We've already started trusting the process, but we are following our process and continuing to do things in the order that works for us. So enjoy this day, and we'll talk again soon. Love you now. Can't forget that. Bye-bye.